Many times, in the name of spirituality, we try to escape from the world. We try to escape from the world. We just use our laziness for spirituality. No, no, no. Many people come and tell me, no, no, no. Why? The great sadhus, Mahatmas like Ramakrishna and all did not do anything. They were just sitting. And Ramana Maharshi was always lying on the couch. No, it is not true. Understand, maybe from the outer world you can say, he used to cook. He used to cook actually. He will take care of everything so meticulously. From the outer world we have our own views. Ramakrishna did not do anything. The whole day he was sitting on his couch and talking to people. That's what I am also doing. What is the wrong? People have their own opinions, their own ideas. Ramana Maharshi was always lying down. Why not me? I am also lying down and watching the TV. But why people call me couch potatoes? They go and touch the feet of Ramana Maharshi. But with me they call me couch potatoes. Understand? The state of consciousness, that plays a major role. You cannot understand their ideas and try to imitate in your life. I have a story for you. A teenager has just passed his driving test and asked his father, who was a church minister, whether he could borrow his car. Church minister, he says, yes, you may borrow my car, my son, if you study Bible, work hard at college and get your hair cut. A month later, the lad asked again whether he could borrow the car. His father said, I am very proud of you, my son. You have been studying your Bible and your college results are excellent. But the only thing is, you have not had your hair cut. This guy says, Dad, why should I cut my hair? I have been thinking about it. See, Samson had a long hair, Moses had a long hair, even Jesus had a long hair. The father says, that is true, my son, but they walked everywhere. They did not borrow anybody's car. Understand? You cannot compare with them and try to imitate them. They were fulfilled. So even their silence was fulfilling everybody. Even in their silence, they fulfilled thousands of people. If you are doing anything out of your fulfillment, it will be fulfilling everybody, including the animals who come around you, even the animals. Stavaram Jangamam. In Sanskrit we have two words. Stavara means the trees, plants, all that. Jangama means even the stones. Even the Stavara and Jangama which comes around you, or near which you go, even they will feel fulfilled. Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam. Even all of them will be filled by you. Patanjali says, work out of that fulfillment. When a master like Patanjali gives the idea, he sees all dimensions of your being. But when ordinary people, when they try to give ideas about your life, they have only their own vested interests. Naturally, your society will tell you work, study. Why? Because they need servants. That's the way the society gets built. And they don't care about you. They care about what they want. Each one has their own idea, what they want. They don't even look completely. Understand? Internalize the decisions, internalize the ideas created by a person who knows the whole thing completely. Patanjali, like persons like Patanjali and all, they have a complete vision. When you internalize their ideas, feel connected to their ideas and start living, even though in the initial level it may look little difficult because you have been made to believe it is difficult. People come and tell me, Swamiji, half an hour I can't sit for meditation. I tell them, all right, sit in your couch and meditate. No, even in the couch, half an hour sitting is not possible. I tell them, for football match, how many hours you sit? In India, cricket. In this country, football is a religion. In each country, they have their own religion. For cricket, how many hours they sit? Football, how many hours they sit? No, that is different, Swamiji. See, it's like a feeling connection. If you have feeling connection, fortunately, with ideas Patanjali is expressing, you will have the same fulfillment which Patanjali is living. Unfortunately, if you feel connected to the ideas which are expressed by people who are not fulfilled, not complete by themselves, naturally you will reach only that source, that level. Understand? The person who is teaching you, constantly telling you, make money, you will have fulfillment. Have relationships, you will have fulfillment. Find your love, you will have fulfillment. Even he has not found fulfillment with that money or wealth or relationship. That's the whole fun. You are living the ideas which are preached by a person who himself did not find fulfillment through those ideas. This is what we call Maya. In Sanskrit, this is what we call Maya. You are living ideas, but the person who is giving that ideas to you himself has not found fulfillment through that ideas. Then where are we heading? In Sanskrit, we have a proverb, a blind leading to the blind, both fall in the ditch. That's what is happening. That's what is happening. The other day, in US only, one NRI kid was brought to me. The mother brought her child, that guy was I think 14-year-old. Mother says, Swamiji is not listening to me, please tell him to listen to me. I had the shock. I myself did not listen to my mother. And I said, no, you yourself talk to him and tell him, I cannot tell. I just somehow want to avoid. It's a very difficult situation. But you know, ladies, once they hold, they stand. And this lady says, no, nothing doing. You have to tell him, Swamiji. And in front of me, fight is going on. Finally, I said, all right. I called him and said, why don't you listen to your mother? See, even I am listening. Even I am listening. Why don't you listen to her? He just looked up and said, Swamiji, she herself is not happy and depressed. If I listen to all her ideas, I will also become like that. True. Somehow I managed. I somehow managed and said, no, you should not talk like this and send him away. But I could not convince myself. What he said is right. What he said is right. See, we are swallowing the ideas of the people who don't have the complete vision with the reality, who are just floating in some fantasy, who don't even know how to think. Please understand. Having thoughts does not mean you are thinking. Having thoughts is not thinking. That's one of the important click you need to understand. Having thoughts is not thinking. Only when you are fulfilled, a proper, logical, clear, stabilized thinking can happen inside you. Still then, you may be having thoughts. Suddenly they will come and visit and say hi, bye, and they will go. Why they come, what they do, why they go, you don't know. Many times, see, the kids till the age of 3, they cannot differentiate between the dream and the reality. They cannot differentiate between the dream and reality till the age of 3. If they feel hungry in the dream, they will be crying in the waking state. And if they feel something wild in the dream state, they will be crying in the waking state also. They will think it is a reality. Same way you also, if you are filled with fantasy, you don't know what is real and what is fantasy. Many times you can see, you take decisions without even knowing the difference between fantasy and reality. And just you make some decisions. I have a story for you. A wife was having an affair with a TV repairman. She complained, my husband never pays any attention to me. All he is ever bothered about is watching the football game on TV. That is why we have got the biggest set in the neighborhood, so he can watch the game. Just then, she heard a key in the front door. Her husband had arrived home unexpectedly. She said to that guy, quick, hide in the back of the TV. So that guy hid himself in the back of the TV, while the husband came and sat down to watch the football game. After 10 minutes, it became so hot and uncomfortable in the back of the TV set. That guy climbed out, walked straight, past the husband and out of the front door. The husband turned to his wife with a surprise and asked, hey honey, I did not see the referee send that guy out. Did you? Many times you do not know whether guy is coming out of the game or behind the TV. We don't know. We don't make the difference. We are just living in fantasy. You are asking, referee did not send this guy out. How come this guy is coming out? Many times we are doing the same mistake. We don't know what is happening in the fantasy in reality. And you look inside. All your major failure decisions, all your major wrong decisions of your life would have been taken at the moment where you are not able to cope up, understand, realize the difference between fantasy and reality. That is the moment you take all the major wrong decisions. All the major wrong decisions. Patanjali takes us to the depth of this faith, effort, time. First thing, faith means feeling connected to spiritual ideas. Understand? Sometimes people come and tell me, I don't have faith, feeling connected to the spiritual ideas. You may not understand the utility value of it. That is why you are not feeling connected. If you understand the utility value of it in your life, naturally you are intelligent enough to turn your energy and attention to the spiritual truths. First thing, don't feel pride if you don't feel connected to spiritual ideas. It is something seriously wrong. You are missing something. Understand, if you are not feeling connected to spiritual ideas, naturally you are feeling connected to some nonsensical ideas. So don't be pride. That is the first thing. Second thing, you feel, no, I don't feel connected to spiritual ideas, but I wanted to feel. I am not happy about it. I wanted to feel connected to spiritual ideas. Then understand the utility value of feeling connected to spiritual ideas. You are intelligent enough. Your energy will turn and start feeling connected. Internalize this sutra. Let's enter into the sutra. What Patanjali wanted to say about these great ideas, this ultimate unfailing formula. Unfailing formula, then you will see, you start experiencing this faith, effort, time, all these things effortlessly. The sutra, the 20th sutra, Shraddha, Virya, Smriti Samadhi, Prajna, Purvaka, Itaresham. A very beautiful sutra. I just wanted to give you the translation of Swami Vivekananda, other 2-3 translations, then I will give my own translation. By others, this samadhi is attained through faith, energy, memory, concentration, and discrimination of the real. And Sachidananda's translation. To the others, this asamprajna, the samadhi, could come through faith, strength, memory, contemplation, or by discernment. I want to give you my own translation. I try to use usually more words to explain each concept, because the word Shraddha, you can't translate as faith. The faith word is, it can say only one dimension of Shraddha. Shraddha means faith plus the courage to stand behind the faith. That is Shraddha. Courage to live the faith. That is Shraddha. So I usually try to use more words so that the concept itself is expressed in the translation, not just the literal translation. If I restrict myself, one Sanskrit word, one English word, then I may not be able to express the whole idea in the translation. So I take up few more words to express each concept in my translation. That's why my translation runs a little long. The path of the ultimate is attained by some by faith in the path, energy directed on the path, repeatedly bringing to awareness the path, concentration and discrimination. 5 things. Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, Prajna. 5 things. First, we understood Shraddha, the faith. If it is loosely translated faith, faith and energy to live the faith, the courage to live the faith, the feeling pride about what you are living. The big problem happened in the Vedic civilization is somehow they lost the pride about their great tradition. They lost the pride about what their ancestors created. See, the worst thing happened to the Vedic civilization is not people from other civilizations coming and destroying their temples. It is not stealing their property. All those things we never bothered. The Somnath was destroyed by 17 times. It means what? 17 times we built it again. That is why he came and destroyed. Why? Because again and again we were building. We were not tired. And I know millions of temples have been demolished. But next generation will erect it much better than that. It will be standing again. That was not the great conspiracy, that's the right word, done to the Vedic tradition. The greatest conspiracy is somehow we have been taught, given ideas, the way in which we started understanding and internalizing and losing the pride about our tradition, the pride about this great spiritual wealth and knowledge. When that is lost, everything is lost. Everything is lost. Everything is lost. Surprised. Because this civilization, this great knowledge, is there for last 10,000 years. Nobody was able to shake. How come in last 60 years so much has been lost, especially in Tamil Nadu and South India? Then I realized where the spiritual ideas are taught, that pride is taken away. The utility value of the spiritual ideas are taken away. Then naturally, nobody will study and the pride is not there, disappears. That was the worst thing happened to the Vedic tradition.